現時所通用並印有埃及大金字塔同全視之眼嘅美金1蚊鈔票，係喺1935年由美國第32任總統，亦同時係共濟會嘅第32級會員嘅美國總統羅斯福所簽訂同發行嘅。而美國總統羅斯福於1933年開始當選嘅。但係歷史話俾我哋知道，呢一張印有埃及大金字塔同埋全視之眼嘅美金1蚊鈔票，其實係由當時一位極為迷信神秘主義嘅農業部長，屬於共濟會嘅第32級會員嘅亨利亞加德華萊士所提供俾羅斯福嘅，而設計受到羅斯福嘅接納同埋發行。呢一張1蚊鈔票亦一直用到而家。後來華萊士更成為羅斯福第2任期嘅副總統，並且係美國第33位副總統。根據華萊士所聲稱，呢一個大國璽嘅設計係佢嘅俄羅斯籍瑜伽師傅 Nicholas Roerich 提議俾佢嘅，而 Nicholas Roerich 同樣係相信神秘主義嘅。喺1933年3月12日，華萊士曾寫信俾呢一位瑜伽師傅，內容卻係談及一副埃及神話邪神 Osiris 嘅棺材。信件嘅內容如下
FDR's interest in the arcane and mystical was further reflected in the relationship he had with his Secretary of Agriculture, Henry Asgard Wallace.
And so it was then in 1935 when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the President of the United States and Henry Wallace was the Secretary of Agriculture. Now, Henry Wallace was deeply involved in the occult.
Wallace's interest in mysticism was well known in circles around Washington, D.C., but it was something that would eventually damage his career in American politics. H.L. Mencken dubbed Wallace the Swami, while it was also said of him that he was the only cabinet member who dabbled in the occult and who could cast a horoscope. In spite of all this, FDR ardently defended him. According to one account, when one of FDR's close advisors worried that many people considered Wallace a mystic, Roosevelt snapped, "He's not a mystic, he's a philosopher. He's got ideas, he thinks right, he'll help people think." But the question was, who was helping Wallace think? This question has been deemed critical because it was Henry Wallace who suggested to FDR that the Great Seal be placed on the back of the dollar bill. But why?
Well, it has a lot to do. Let's go back to really important individuals here. His name is Nicholas Roerich. And Nicholas Roerich was a very advanced spiritual soul with considerable vision. Nicholas Roerich was also a Rosicrucian. He was also a member of other secret societies.
Roerich was a Russian painter and mystic who was deeply involved in theosophy and the teachings of Madame H.P. Blavatsky. He is famous for his travels into Tibet and the Far East in search of the legendary kingdom of Shambhala. But what was his relationship to FDR's Secretary of Agriculture?
I believe that Nicholas Roerich was a spiritual teacher, not a supreme spiritual teacher, but was a teacher of Henry Asgard Wallace.
Roerich was considered not only a teacher, but a spiritual mentor and guru to Henry Wallace. It's believed that Wallace recommended the Great Seal to FDR because of the mystical influence Roerich held over him.
The dollar bill was approved with the all-seeing eye and the truncated pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the top of because of Nicholas Roerich.
In the book, Tournament of Shadows, the authors document much of the activities and influence of Roerich during this period. They write that Roerich's influence was suspected in the adornment of the $1 bill, with a verso of the Great Seal showing a pyramid crowned by an all-seeing eye. The story of Wallace's role with FDR is told by the State Department in an official history called The Eagle and the Shield, a history of the Great Seal of the United States.